That's my secret. Wait.
Pass it off to T Woody with the 2 clap. Hey, what's up, guys? Appreciate you. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome. Thank you.
We got some freaking studs today. We got Gerard,
What's up? What's up?
a.k.a. G Money.
G Money in the flesh, baby.
We got Nick,
Saw, dude.
studs. And
Saw,
then we got
dude.
the God of the Sun, John,
John Young.
The sun god.
What's up?
the Sun God.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So,
Thank you.
straight out of Tallahassee
Yes, sir.
for Nick and Gerard. These guys came down. So, I want to get into your guys' background a little bit. So,
Okay.
we'll start with G.
Okay.
G Money, give us a little bit of your history, man. Like how you got into sales, how long you've been doing sales, maybe some
Okay.
of the struggles, some of the wins.
So I currently go to college at University of Texas at San Antonio, and I major in finance. So the way that I found out about Vivint was during COVID, and it kind of brought me to one of my lowest points in life because whenever I was in college, COVID happened, and we got sent back home. So I had to go back to Austin, and I was working at Home Depot making like $15 an hour. But I was partying it up in college, and at that point, whenever I was back in Austin, I would just like smoke weed and not want to work. And it brought me to a really low point of my life. So I just started looking into other outlets of what I can do better. Like I had a lot of long nights of just like talking to myself, talking to God, and my buddy, one of my best friends, Sai, told me about looking into business, personal development, and so I started listening to him.
Shout out, Cy.
Yeah, shout out
What up,
Sai.
Sai?
Shout out Sai, my boy. And so we started essentially looking at people that were living the lives that we wanted, and we would take them out to eat, collecting their brains. I started reading into books, more personal development, financial literacy, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Wealthy Barber by David Shilton, all these books. And eventually it led to us meeting Cody Thrive, right? And so we meet Cody Thrive. He talks to us about his business, Business for Teens, his TikTok page where he's like selling shoes online. And then he tells us about this little blitz in Houston, Texas, doing door-to-door for an alarm company. And so that's whenever he sent us like a little YouTube video about his first summer. So we got to watch that for like a week, and then we went out to Houston for the blitz, and that's where I ended up meeting you guys, you two, Woody.
Let's go.
And yeah, learning about Vivint.
So you went out. So that's kind of crazy. So a couple things I got from that. So number one, the fact that you and Cy were like on the hunt for successful people.
Yes.
And then you said you would contact them and try to meet up with them and interview them or pick their brain.
Yep.
Dude, that takes a lot of just like determination, and like you guys were way.
It took us about, because it started whenever COVID happened, like March 2020. And so after that, we started just like networking, and like we're still good friends with these people. One of them's like DBJ, we call him DBJ. He's a doctor. He's a dentist in Austin where he owns a few offices for dentistry, and he's in real estate. So he literally invited us to his apartment and picked his brain about what we could do better, how to become more financially literate, got us dinner, and that was in like maybe June, July of that summer. And then we keep doing that with a few more people, went to seminars, and then it wasn't until October when Cy met Cody. And the way Cy met Cody was Cy was working at Chick-fil-A, and Cody was ordering Chick-fil-A. And Cody loves Chick-fil-A. Yep. And Cy saw his TikTok page, so that's how he recognized him. And he just straight up like told him like, "Hey, you're Cody Thrive?" He's like, "Yeah, sweet. Yeah." Like me and my buddy Gerard, we're actually just like taking people out to eat that we think are living the lives that we want. Do you mind if we buy your food and actually pick your brain for a little bit? And he's like, "Okay, yeah, sweet. Let's go tomorrow." And I was in San Antonio. Cy told me about it. And then, yeah, I drove from San Antonio to Austin. Yeah.
Question was when Cody pulled up, was he in the Honda?
He was in the Honda. He was in the beat up Honda where he has like
His
the
money
roof
maker.
just- Yeah, roofs just like falling apart and everything. But he showed us how to make money selling shoes. I obviously didn't sell shoes, but he told us about Vivint too, and so I ended up doing door to door.
That's awesome.
What's crazy is I remember, so Cody called me right after that, and he's like,
Yeah?
dude, he's like, this is crazy. Like, you're never going to believe what just happened. He's like, I was in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, man, and this guy recognized me from TikTok, and he's telling me that him and his buddy want to meet up and stuff. So
Yeah.
he's like, this is insane, bro. This is crazy. Like,
He's like paparazzi.
Yeah, bro, he was loving it.
living the life.
So that is like crazy that like the stars kind of aligned with that. Right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
What are the odds that Sai would recognize Cody? Cody go through the drive-thru. They'd have that conversation. And
Sai
meet
tells
up,
me
like,
I make the effort to go from San Antonio to Austin to just take lunch with this random guy that I didn't even know. I took Sai's word for it, and then he told me the rest, and I was just like, okay, you give me an outlet that has like good possibilities, I'll go for it.
And then we went to Houston for that first blitz, and I remember when you got your first deal.
Oh yeah,
Dude, we were hyped.
I was very, very
We were
hyped.
hyped. I think we have it on video somewhere, but in the archives. But yeah, it was cool.
No, I loved it. Yeah, I called you over, got inside the house, and we got to the table. And I remember every single moment of it because I got the pen and paper, like the way you taught us. And you just go straight up to the customer. He goes, yeah, so Gerard, he's a little new, so I'm going to hand him everything. I'm going to let him run this. I'm just going to be in the side if he needs help. So I was just like, all right, let's do this. And then, yes, I was just right next to me, and I was just like, let's go.
that was freaking awesome.
So
after your first summer, so after your first blitz, did you got one sale?
I got
sales?
one sale.
You got one sale. How did you what was your mindset after the first sale? Like, what were you telling yourself after that?
Oh, I was just ecstatic. Because from that week, from Monday through Friday, I was just shadowing, right? I was learning the process, taking in as much information as I can, like you told us to. So I would just take every bits and pieces that I learned from all the people that I shadowed, and I would just make sure that I would apply it to that Saturday because it was my only in one day to work. And realizing that I got that deal, it made me realize that, wow, I can actually do this. So it gave me that realization that it is very much possible because I just did the hardest thing, which was getting my first deal on my first day, on my first week. So just like, okay, let's do this. But it takes work. It takes so much work.
After that, the confidence was there, and you're like, all right, let's get it.
Yes, confidence was there, and so it just made me really optimistic about going into the next season or my first season.
So then let's fast forward a little bit to your first summer. So then you go out to the summer. How did that go down?
First summer, it went pretty well. I ended up with 88 deals. So we went to Oklahoma City, and we were in Kansas for a little bit in the first portion of the summer. But yeah, for me, it was definitely really, really hard. But I never had the mentality of quitting because, I mean, it's door to door. You know you're going to get your teeth knocked in day in and day out. As long as you're willing to keep pushing through it, that's all that you need. And so that's what I had within me, that no matter what, I could get 0 deals on the week, 0 deals on 2 weeks, but I am not quitting. I'm not, because I know if I quit, that's when I know I fail, right? So all I know is that I just kept going, and I ended up making the most amount of money my first summer in Vivint, and the rest was pretty much history. So
everybody wants to know, so how much money did you make your first summer?
My first summer, it was right at $50,000.
$50,000, my guy, good shit.
Yes, sir.
In 4 months.
In 4 months, yes.
50,000 in 4 months, not bad for a college student.
Yeah, I was very thankful because after I got done with my summer, I went to go visit my sister's. I went to Dallas to visit my sister because it was her birthday, and my parents were there, and that was my first time seeing my sister, my mom, my dad, and my other little sister. And I was just literally on the couch. I was talking to my mom, and I pull up Source, right? So for those that don't know, Source is just like your bank account for like how much you earn in Vivint. So I was just looking at it, and my mom was talking to me, and she looks at it, and she goes, huh? She's like, huh? And she goes to my dad. She goes, hey, you see his phone? You see how much money he made? I was like, yeah.
Doesn't know what she did.
Oh, yeah. She was just like, huh? I don't know, because she's Filipino.
Hold on.
Honey, look at this.
Hold on. Can we address the fact that your voicemail on your phone?
Hi and hello. Hi and hello.
Bro,
Yeah,
can we
I get
change
it.
your voicemail?
Okay, here's the thing. I've tried
Hold on, hold
changing
on.
my
Can we call him?
voicemail.
Can you put it up to the mic?
Hey, I
Hold
got
on,
you.
Hold on.
I got
Please
you.
put on speaker.
Put us
Oh, it's gonna be on yours.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
call me and then
Oh,
I'll.
guys,
Hey, you're gonna decline it?
Yeah, I'll
Let me turn
decline.
my
I'll
volume
decline.
a
turn
little
it up, full blast, volume. Put it on the mic. Can we please change this as soon as possible?
Hello.
Can we please change your voice?
Okay, here's the thing. I've tried changing it so many times, it just won't go through. But yeah,
Like it won't save?
It. No, I
Or you
do
can't
save.
get it out of you to change it.
I've saved it. Like I've changed it. Like, hey, this is Gerard from Vivint. Sorry, I missed your call. Leave me a name and number. I'll get back to you. But every time I hit save, it does not want to change. Okay, here's the thing. Every time I leave my number for my customers, I tell them if I don't answer and it says Angelo, that is me. That's my dad just saying my Filipino
Wait.
name.
Does it say Angelo?
Yeah, Angelo.
I thought he said hi and hello.
No, hi, hello.
Hi and hello.
No, you thought it was what?
Hi, hello.
Hi, hello. No, no.
That's hi and
my-
hello.
Hi and hello.
Hi, hello.
Hi
No,
and hello.
so-
Angelo. And that doesn't say, no, hi and hello. He says hi and hello.
No, my Filipino name is Angelo, but when you say it in the Filipino dialect, it's Angelo.
It
So-
still doesn't say hi and hello.
Oh.
And hello.
Yeah, so
Bro, oh my gosh.
That's
I've
funny
tried
as fuck.
changing it.
I've
many,
wanted to
many
ask
times.
you that for like 3 years, and I finally just figured it. Bro, that's hilarious. Okay.
But,
so,
yeah.
dude, that's so funny. Just reminded your mom's reaction just like reminded me of the voicemail.
Yeah, no, she's like, you know, because I'm Filipino, she's your traditional. I wouldn't say she's like super traditional Filipino woman, but like, yeah, whenever she saw it, it just like lit up her eyes. And
Yeah.
to me, I think that was a big realization and just like the weight of my shoulders just like going away because one, my family knows that I am completely good on my own and that they can believe in me and whatever I need to do in my life. So I really thought that was such a blessing after my first summer. And after all of that, like going into my second summer, my third summer, it's just been wonders, and it's just been really nice knowing that they're always behind me no matter what, because they've seen what I've done and they'll always push me to do even more and even more.
So I always ask, so your parents, when you said, hey, I'm moving to Oklahoma City for 4 months to go sell a product door to door, what was their initial reaction and support?
So they were a little shocked. I wouldn't say that they were never doubtful of me. They never thought of anything bad. They were just like, oh, okay, door to door. What is this about? Like what? Like it's not like doubts. It's more of just like questions and concerns.
Verifying.
Yeah, just verifying, making sure everything was right and that nothing was shady. And I think they really saw that after my first blitz, and they saw how happy I was. They saw how much time and effort I put into this thing and how much bought in I was. And they really saw how much I changed too throughout my summer. And even after my summer, they've seen how much personal growth I've had. And yeah, they never doubted anything that came with the job. They just had a little bit of questions of like, okay, because nobody really would think door to door is like a good thing to do until you actually do it and you see the possibilities of what goes outside of the job and what it can bring you.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were super supportive. Even throughout the summer, they knew that I would be working. I would not be on my phone a lot. I wouldn't really text them. So every single time I'd text them, they'd catch up really quickly, but they knew I was just locked in. So
In your culture, is it because there's a lot of like families pretty involved, right? Like mom and dad are pretty involved with like what their kids' careers are and what they're doing. And I
100%.
think there's a sense of, would you say there's a sense of like pride and like wanting to make sure mom and dad are like proud of what you're doing?
no, of course.
Is that what you mean by like when they saw the money you were making, they were like, you said that weight came off your shoulders. Was that
Yeah.
like a sense of like, okay, they're proud of like what I've done?
Well, yeah, I think, yeah, definitely with that, but also just with my mom, she always wants to make sure that we have everything we want in our life. And with her, like, she's done everything for my life. And I love that woman. I thank God for her. And she's the person that I strive to be. So for us, I just want to make her proud, and doing that really solidified that thinking for her. Just seeing that I made good money and I can do even more and more and more, she knows that she doesn't have to worry about me. And to me, that makes me feel good. And then I could take care of other people in my life, other important people in my life, including her. So that's what I want to do with this job. So, yeah, it didn't really scare them. Because it's kind of weird. She wanted me to be a nurse, and I was trying to be a nurse. So, but then I just realized it's like health science is not for me. So, stopped doing that, switched to finance, literally just trying to finish my degree just so I can keep my parents happy about that. But they know the current stipulation that I'm putting myself in. So, we'll see how college goes.
Nice. Love it, dude. Thank you. Your story's awesome. And now you're on year 3 managing a team, so we'll get into that a little bit. But
Thank
we'll
you.
migrate over here to Nick.
dope.
Mr. Nick, dude. Give us your history, my guy. How'd you get into sales, and how's it been so far?
Yeah. So I was actually working for a YouTuber full time before this in Modesto, California. So working as a logistics manager for a channel that now sits a little over 3 million subscribers.
Sheesh.
My role in that was to basically receive a video idea and make it come to life. So, you know, like we've done videos where we're in the middle of the ocean for 24 hours, like swimming or like just random things, being in a cage with a bear for 24 hours, like challenge-based videos. Kind of like Walmart version of Mr. Beast.
Okay, I was going to say that.
So, like, you know, he'd give me a video idea and I'd have to figure out, like, hey, where are we going to make this? How are we going to do this? What do we need in the video? What can we do to make the video, you know, at least a 10-minute video? Because, like, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, a 10-minute video requires, like, sometimes, like, several hours of footage. Especially if you're filming 24 hours, you know, you take 24 plus hours of video footage and condense it into 10 minutes. So just figuring out how to make all of this stuff happen. I was making $18 an hour, and I was just trying to stick it out because, you know, this dude was making 6 figures a month, you know, 75,000 to 6 figures a month. Now he's probably clearing 6 figures every single month. So I was making $18 an hour, $36,000 a year. Just trying to see the long term with it. Like, okay, if I just play my cards right, I'll be up on this level. He's going to take care of me. And I'll be
you're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, that's how I see everything. Like, I think long term. I don't think short term.
Right.
And so it was stressful because, like, you know, it's always like there'd be so much that I was doing and just how much money I was putting into this guy's pocket, you know, making things happen. And during the process, like $18 in California an hour, like that is terrible pay. Like, you're not making much. You can't really live off of 18 an hour. At the time,
actually, I have a question for that. Sorry. But compared to, like, Texas numbers, how would that be?
what's the minimum wage in Texas?
It's like, what, $8.50, right? $7.50?
I don't know.
It's like $8, $8.25 maybe?
I mean, I don't really know what the cost of living is, but in California, the cost of living to make 18 an hour, like I was living with my grandparents. If I wanted to move out, I'd have to have like 3 or 4 roommates.
Jeez.
I would not have been able to afford it.
Okay.
So I was making like $1,400 every 2 weeks after like taxes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working for this guy, and throughout this time, you know, I'm trying to find little side hustles. So I'm going on TikTok, you know. My feed was components of 3 things: either something stupid, girls dancing, or
nice,
or side hustles. No girls dancing. It's just side hustles.
Prove it.
I don't have TikTok on my phone anymore.
They deleted social media
But
for the summer.
what's funny is I came across this account named Chris Hustles. So you guys may or may not know who Chris is, whoever watching the pod. But this guy, Chris Hustles, he'd post videos or TikToks like how to make money doing this. If you do this online, you're going to make this amount of money. So I'm broke. $18 an hour is not enough. Like, a lot of people thought I was balling because I was getting a chance to like travel and all this stuff.
You were on YouTube.
Yeah, but I'm broke. Like,
right.
I'm broke. I'm living paycheck to paycheck.
When you were making 18, did a flag go off ever? Like, if the dude's clearing like 70 grand a month and you're getting 18,
I definitely
18
felt
smacks.
taken advantage of, but I was just trying to stick it out to prove that I wasn't just in it for the money.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was trying, but I was like, I was doing.
You found out that the money was somewhat necessity.
It like later I really put it into perspective how much money I was making to this guy. But I'm gonna get to that. Long story short, I'm making this guy all of this money, trying to find side hustles on TikTok, and this guy Chris, I'm trying to do all these side hustles, and I'm not making any money doing these things. Like, it's just content. I'm gonna be a scammer, you know. But I wasn't.
Like, it's fake.
I'm gonna be a
fake.
scammer.
Fake news, you know. So I'm trying all these side hustles, and I'm not making any money with them. So I go in the comments, and I'm just being a hater in the TikTok comment section. I'm just like, hey, bro, can you prove this, bro? Like, I'm not making any money. Can you prove this? And it's kind of like turns into like little TikTok beef, you know, on the comment section.
Keyboard warrior.
Twitter fingers or trigger fingers turn to TikTok fingers, I guess, in that situation. And so I'm like, whatever. And then Cody, so everybody who's watching this knows who Cody is. Cody Dunlap or Cody Thrive, Business for Teens. He messages me on Instagram. It's my first time ever receiving a DM from somebody who had like over 20,000 followers. So I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. You know, now it's always.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he like hits me up he's like, hey, dude, I saw your comment on Chris's page. Like, we should chat or whatever. I got an opportunity for you. I was like, I'm in. Like, tell me about it. So initially.
Lay down.
Yeah, I was lay down. Lay down. So he tells me about this opportunity. And at first, I'm like, I didn't know anything. It wasn't really clear what the job was or what it entailed. And it sounded cool, but I was just really trying to stick out this long-term thing with the YouTube. And when I was telling him that, it was like actually pretty funny because if you guys know Cody, anybody who turns down his job opportunity, he talks smack.
And he posts about it,
And posts about it. And I would see all this stuff, but he didn't do that about me. He actually...
I was going to ask, did he do that with you?
No, he actually wanted to just connect and like talk about the YouTube style and everything. So long as I keep making this guy all this money, and I finally asked him, I'm like, bro, like how much... It was literally like the Wolf of Wall Street thing. I was like, you know how he's like, if you can show me you've made $70,000, I'll quit my job.
Show me a pay stub right now.
Yeah. So I was like, how much money you make? He's like 65 grand or something like that. I was like, can you show me a pay stub? He shows me his 1099, and I'm like, holy shit, you know, like
Call Tyler Oliveira.
So
I quit.
What's funny is I went and I still didn't know too much about the job, but I'm just like. I'm on the verge of like quitting or like, you know, think there's tensions building with the job. You could tell I'm not happy there. So Tyler and I sit down, long story short, like we couldn't come to an agreement. I wanted 6-figure salary. Couldn't come to an agreement. So I dipped literally within a few days span. I pack my stuff and I drive out to a blitz. So I drive from California all the way to Texas for this 1-week sales trip blitz.
Okay.
So I get to Texas, and that's my first time meeting Gerard and Trent. And Trent, I made friends with Gerard, and Trent's all, yeah, tell me about the YouTube. All Trent's seeing is dollar signs at this time. Like, how did I use this guy?
He respects you.
I was actually intrigued because you don't run into people that are like in that world very often.
So I go and I shadow Cody for 3 days. And I'm watching him talk to people, and I'm just like, this guy made 65 grand doing this. I was like, I'm gonna make like $1 million, you know?
Watch this.
So on that week, you made how much you make on that week?
Altogether, the upfront and everything, it was probably like $1,300 total between the front end and the back end. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you're pretty pumped about that.
I was stoked. And then went out to Oklahoma with Gerard, where we had our first summer. Did 89 accounts as a rookie. One more than Gerard.
It was
88.
It was. I was livid. I was so pissed. I was like,
how late in the summer was that last? Was it like the last day? Like fucking 9 o'clock? It was like you just beat them.
Yeah. This was during like the last few weeks of summer, and we were just like neck and neck the entire time.
Do you remember if it was
I had to leave early too because I broke my leg.
And then I broke Nick's. We were playing.
Hold on.
The public needs to know how this went down.
Can you do it, G?
my leg.
Okay, so me and Nick are going to the gym.
not how
This
it
is
happened
2 weeks before summer ends. 3 weeks.
That's not what happened.
And Nick walks in. He's like, I don't want to do legs. I was like, yeah, me neither. Let's
It was
play.
your idea to not
I
do
said,
legs.
let's play basketball. He's like, okay. No, he's like, I got Vans on. I'm like, that's cool.
They were worn down Vans.
So I'm like, let's go. So, okay, so we're at the top of the key. I got the ball.
It's not at
He's
all.
guarding me
So-
like
and
this.
then we were
And
on
I
the same
freaking
team.
jab and I cross him
We
up.
were on the same team.
And he freaking slips and his leg snaps backwards sideways and he falls down. He's laying there and his leg's hanging back like this. And he's like, oh, my leg. Call the ambulance. He's like, call 911.
And what did you do whenever?
I laughed and then I ran to the front.
No, that's not what I'm asking. Because how am I gonna go in there to check up on Nick, and I see you just recording it, having a video, just putting your phone right on his knees, like, nah.
I'm like hyperventilating. My knee's a balloon.
I'm like
about
actually trying to
pass
take
out.
care of Nick, and then you're just like, oh, stud.
Dude, his
Stunned.
leg was literally stuck.
We'll have to edit a picture of my
Oh
knee
my gosh.
after.
Okay.
That's
So
good.
then,
Top.
So instead of doing legs, you took his legs.
I broke his
So
leg.
we were on the same team. That's what's crazy. Is like we were on the same
I-
team.
my
I was actually
crossover
guarding.
was
No,
so fierce
I was
that-
sidestepping in worn down Vans, and I've had knee injuries before. And when I was sidestepping, like my leg like buckled, locked, and pop dropped and locked it, and it went out like to the side of my leg, and it was I tore a bunch of stuff. I need surgery on it again.
That
Like,
might have been more accurate. But yeah. So I ran outside and actually there was a bunch of like firefighters working out. Like in the I was like,
Oh,
hey.
yeah.
I was like,
What
hey.
the fuck type of day
there's
are
a
you
guy
guys
in there.
having, bro?
You gotta put the mic because I can't hear what you're saying.
What type of day are you guys
Oh,
having?
yeah, this is
It's
crazy.
like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like in the morning, yeah. So we're hitting our anyway. So I go to the firefighters. I'm like, hey, there's a guy broke his leg in the gym. So the guy puts down the barbells. They walk in there. They're like, you okay, man? And he's like, call the ambulance. Call the ambulance. So the ambulance shows up. This is the best part. The ambulance shows up. And then Nick's like, I don't want a freaking ambulance. Who called the ambulance? I'm like, you did. You told us to call the ambulance.
Because it's
And so-
expensive.
yeah,
if
it's
you-
expensive.
If you
So-
have the ambulance drive you to the hospital, isn't it?
Yeah, so I declined that. I declined the trip in the ambulance. I had Trent take me to the ER because I've had knee injuries before, and like I was told like my knee should not do that again. And this was the most pain I'd ever felt. It wasn't like the previous injuries. I knew
I
something
bet.
was wrong. So we go. This was during COVID, so like they can't really do anything. They wouldn't do MRIs or anything. So they give me ibuprofen, crutches, and a straight brace. And that
Hell yeah.
same day that I died, we'll have to put this up on screen, but I still went out in crutches and got a deal that same day I injured my leg. I wish
Nice.
this was for the pod to get the gold medal. This
Dude.
thing.
Hold on.
but-
I got to tell him what happened after that. So he avoided the ambulance because it was too expensive.
Right.
So I drove him to the hospital in the car, right? 3 days later,
No, the day after.
the day after, he's laying in bed. And he
This is
called-
after I got my deal. I got this
the next day.
broke
The
my
next day, he
leg.
calls me and he's like in tears. He's like, "T, Woody, my leg is like out of place. Like, my kneecap is like jello." And he's like, "I need to go to the hospital." We already went to the ER the day before, and they just gave him pain meds and crutches. And he's like, "No, I got to go back." So how are we gonna call the ambulance again? And the ambulance
And you actually took
goes
the ride?
to the third floor and carry him down on a stretcher. And he goes to the same hospital he was at the day before, and they're like, "You're back?" He's like, "Yeah, my leg still hurts."
No, what happened was
they're
so
like,
I
"Get-
put
go
my
back
I'm
leg.
still having pain. It still
No,
hurts.
that's not what happened. I put it was a bad dislocation. It went back in place, but I was like just looking at how swollen my leg was. It was like a balloon. And I remember just tilting my leg, and something about watching my knee roll to the side of my leg again. Like I dislocated it again. I watched it happen, so I had to relocate it. And I was like, it's different when you feel it, but when you watch your kneecap
You're just
roll,
freaking out.
Yeah, bro. So watching your kneecap roll to the side of your leg, like that's
so
not
funny.
normal. I cried. It wasn't the pain that caused me to cry. I was scared, bro.
I know,
Like,
I'd
your legs
be
never gonna be
scared
the
too.
same?
I can't.
And then
Your leg's never gonna be the same.
no, literally,
Yeah.
I got the scars. My battle
And
scars.
then after that, you went home.
Oh yeah, I got on a plane. I went home, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever you went home,
you're like, yeah.
How's Gerard gonna
Yeah, you're catching up.
yeah, I was. Okay,
like-
yeah. In all
How
honesty,
far
I was
apart
just like,
were you
okay,
when he
sweet.
dipped?
What's up?
How far from him were you?
I was literally just behind by 2 accounts,
Oh,
and
you're
then we
good,
went into
bro. You're
extended.
good.
Wait,
and
so
then-
no,
Good to
like-
go.
So you're saying I was ahead? You were behind by 2 accounts, and then from the 2 weeks and extended, you only got one
Because I had
account.
2 Fortiva accounts. And here's the thing: right when I got to extended, T Woody, what did I tell you?
I don't remember.
Got COVID.
Yep.
Oh,
I ended up getting COVID.
Sorry.
One thing
Sorry.
I did want to say though, backtracking to the rookie year with how I got into the door to door. So that was my first ever like time getting a paid job door to door. Going on year 3 now, managing a team. What's crazy is here I am 3 years in door to door. Never realized door to door was something you could make money on. And the other day, I actually texted my grandma this because I remembered I told you I have door to door experience.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
When I was like 6 or 7 years old, my grandparents they had a cherry tree in their backyard. So every summer I would pick all of the cherries. We'd put them in little baskets, and they had a little red wagon that I'd load up with cherries. My grandma or my grandpa, they would walk me around the neighborhood. I would go up to people's doors and I would sell a small basket for 50 cents or a large basket for $1. I remember like the most I made in one day was like $7 or $8, and I was stoked. So yeah, and then here I am knocking on doors for a career.
It's funny, you went from door to door to YouTube to seeing how much people can make in YouTube to door again.
Yeah,
Nice
you would
full
think
circle.
that I'd just start my own channel. I mean, I know
It's a
what
whole
it is.
cycle. It's a whole cycle.
Yeah, it's
It
interesting.
left such a bad taste in my tongue. Like I know everything now about the YouTube. Like if I really wanted to start a channel, I'm confident enough to grow a channel and know I could be successful with it, which I'd make a killing. But I just had such a bad taste in my tongue left behind. People don't realize the behind the scenes that go into that. The editing, like, which I hated editing. I had to help with some of that stuff. The planning, being on video, just structuring everything, all the retakes, like it just left a bad taste in my tongue. I think if I had the capital to just pay somebody to do everything for me, I would be the star of it, but I don't have that.
Would you pay them 18 an hour?
I'd pay them what they're worth.
19
Ooh,
an
I
hour.
like that. What they're worth.
20 an hour.
$18.50.
What do you feel you should have been paid when you were doing it? What do you feel you should have been paid?
I mean, if I'm
reasonably speaking.
So with how much work I was doing and like what I was doing for this guy, if I was making him 6 figures, like, well, me and Hasiel combined, because he was the editor working. Hasiel was working his ass off, like 38. Sometimes he'd be like on no sleep benders, like 12 hours straight, just editing. So like I feel like he and I both should have been paid at least 6 figures. This guy's making 75 to 6 figures plus in a month.
You guys should be at least that a year.
And in 1 month, what he was making covered our yearly salary.
Yeah.
But what was your position though?
The like
Logistics manager.
He would
That's
give
what
me
you
the
said?
video idea, and I would literally figure out everything. Like if you wanted
But
to,
what do logistics managers make?
I didn't know.
Because a lot of times it doesn't
probably make
it
more
doesn't
than the
matter how
30
much
he
the
made.
company's making. It's what value you're.
But
providing.
it was 3 dudes, all friends. Like you would think that we were all mutually into this. Like Tyler would just go do whatever. Like he'd be sleeping all day.
So he just tells you do this project and then you go look.
And then he would show up for the
Okay.
videos. Like nothing, like no beef with him. Like we're cool. It's just like definitely was taken advantage of. Like looking back at it.
Now you're rich.
You drive a Mustang. Anyways,
Nice
John's
glasses.
You have 2
story.
cars.
Nice glasses.
Thanks. So these are what make the money, honestly.
Okay, hold on.
Disclaimer
Before we get to John, can we reflect back on the hotel in Wichita?
Oh.
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
Every
So,
single time.
while we were waiting for our licensing in Oklahoma, we were in Wichita, Kansas for
Wichita, Kansas.
like 2 months. I think for like 2 months.
love
Yeah,
it.
a month and a
for
half.
the first batch.
Wichita.
For the first batch of licensing, and then there were
Oh.
because of COVID, the like state wasn't
forever.
processing the licensing, so some guys couldn't even like their licenses never even came in. So we just had to work around it. But so we were in a hotel.
Would you even call it a motel? I mean, hotel.
A hotel, motel.
It was more like a homeless shelter for crackheads.
Yeah.
$30
there
a
we go.
night. They gave us $30 a night.
Smelled like piss,
Yeah.
and then we were like waking up in the morning, stepping over crackheads. In the
Literally
hallway.
every morning. We'd like to get, because they had that little door. Like So you had to have a key card to get into the main entrance, and like there was the little lobby area, and the homeless people would be sleeping on the floor in the lobby. We'd have to like, step over them.
Yeah, every single morning that I would wake up to go to the gym, there'd be at least 2 or 3 homeless people in the shelter, and I just like keep my head down. I'm just like, bro, don't even talk to me.
You're like, where am I right now?
When was this?
This was our rookie year, so it was the
Wichita.
first half
That's
of
hilarious.
our summer. Yeah,
So
and
you broke your leg your rookie year too?
yeah, and that was in the
That's
and that was
that
at the end
first
of the
year,
summer.
buddy.
Got bit by a dog.
Yeah,
Bit by a dog, broke your
Fell off
leg.
a Segway.
Fought a
Yeah.
homeless guy.
yeah.
I remember
boy.
calling the cops though at that hotel. Because I couldn't freaking sleep, bro. Every single night across, there was like domestic violence going on in the unit
Yeah.
across from me, and I couldn't
Because
sleep.
you're right next to people.
Yeah. All I'd hear is, you're hitting me. And finally, I'm just like laying there at like 2 a.m. Like I can't sleep.
You got work in the
It
morning.
won't stop. I open the door and I'm just listening to this lady screaming. I'm like, if she wasn't a crackhead, I probably would have cared. But because she was a crackhead, I just wanted her to shut up. So I finally called 911. I'm like, I think someone's getting abused at the hotel. And then what was so awkward was I had to, like, when I left to go, the guy was like, they had to have the door unlocked. They didn't have a key. So, and their room was right across and the police were downstairs. And, like, they called my room asking if I could come let them in. As I walk out, the guy's just standing out there. Just kind of like, got done beating her and, is just standing outside.
So he saw
So
you.
he saw me walk out my room and I look at him and I got to walk downstairs. And then
the
I
cops
walk back up with the cops. He's right there.
And so he's like, you
Christ.
mother.
Yeah.
You say hey to him like, hey.
I was just like, dude, it was so awkward. They left after that. But
That's funny.
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
The rooms were the worst too.
Can you imagine that? You're doing something fucked up, and then you see some nerdier looking dude
Yeah.
walk down and,
And then
come
walk
back with like
up.
2 cups behind him. It's like, dude,
just
what
like,
the f, bro?
Damn.
Yeah, grimy.
Yeah, I hated sleeping
like
in that
that.
hotel. There's always so many stories that could go down. Well, let's pass it off to John, dude.
Oh,
so
you
we
sure?
got John.
I wasn't here rookie year, so I don't know.
The sun god himself.
We got John Young, the
Squares,
sun god. So
the
John,
god of the sun.
What's up?
John, give us your story, man. I kind of know it a little bit, but I want to hear like the full
I have
story.
not heard any of it.
Well, yeah, Nick, you're the only one. I'm basically talking to you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's
buddy.
honestly like no offense to John, but we could probably skip it. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
That's not boring to me.
Yeah. No, I
I'm here,
mean,
Bubba.
Just kidding.
I've been doing it for a minute, bro. Like a long time. You want me to tell you the whole story? I got a decade.
One thing.
Sorry,
really
yeah, you
quick.
gotta ask me
or what
questions.
made you get
Guide,
into
They've,
guide
they've
this
been
combo.
doing door to door about the same length and time, but somehow John's only 28 and Trent's like 43.
Yeah. Be like that, dude. I'm sorry,
You
man.
get fired.
You're fired
No, how is he gonna just see like a negative like $20,000 deduction?
for negative comments.
Dude, 2
No, how-
minutes ago,
no,
he said,
how is
"Let's
the
do another
deduction just gonna
pod
say,
with
how
someone that's
old am
not
I?"
John?"
Age comments.
$43,000, $1,000 for every year of age.
To be alright. But I mean, dude, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It started a minute ago. You could ask me questions to guide it, but
How long you been going?
10 years. Yeah,
So where did you first start off?
So I was a military brat.
Yo.
So I grew up in Italy, and then I moved. So I was there for elementary, middle school. Like that's where I grew up. And I moved from Italy to the States when I was 17, like right before I turned 18. Like just me. Like parents still in Italy, brother still in Italy. I went to USF, dude, for criminology. Yeah, because I wanted to be a lawyer.
Yo.
I saw those suits.
Do you have anything on
shows
your
the
criminal
sit.
record?
Nothing that's on there. I had stuff that they tried to.
Nothing permanent.
Yeah, and we good, bro. We're good. I got a comb over, bro. I'm telling you, man. Ain't nobody stressing John Young. Nah, dude. I was going to college, and I told Trent last night. I used to do public speaking, like competitively.
Wow.
In high school. I don't know if I ever
Nerd.
actually told you that. Yeah.
Like
That's probably why I
like
didn't
the
tell you
debate
that.
team.
Nah, debate team's
You wore
full
glasses,
of
huh?
squares, bro. No, it's like, have you ever heard of Toastmasters, like those TED Talks?
Yeah.
Less cool version of that. Walmart.
The Walmart
of that.
version?
Yeah, Walmart version of that. But no, it's for this over here. You know how in high school you guys have those clubs like FBLA or FEI or whatever. It was like one of those. So I
Okay.
did public speaking competitively, and I
Oh,
got
yeah.
pretty good at it. And then I kind of got far to where, over here in the States, you know how you guys have nationals. It's like the best team in every state goes against.
Right.
Over there, it's called Europeans. So it's like Italy,
Right.
Germany, Spain. Yeah, it's the same concept.
Right.
So I just know I was 17. I got first place in Europe, For
Yo.
yeah, it was cool. I had like gold medals. Yeah, my mom has them all. It was dope.
Curious, how many years after this was it that you got your first girlfriend?
Never. I'm still working, bro. I'm 10 years grinding, bro.
You're still grinding,
Yeah,
baby. That's
it's
all that
cool, bro.
matters. Just
It's
keep
cool.
grinding.
Yeah, no. Whenever you're off Grindr is probably when I'm gonna get my first.
There you go. There you
But
go.
yeah, man. And so I was pretty good at that. Went to USF, doing school, and then did public speaking for college too, right, for the state competition. And I was in the country for like 4 months. Like I'm still learning America. I think drive-thrus were cool as shit.
Did you know
Did you have
English?
the European accent?
Nah, because I'm still American. Like I was
Okay.
born in Boston.
Oh, okay.
I was
So you
there for like
spoke
6
English?
weeks, dude. Yeah, because I went to school on the base.
But
I
you,
lived off the base, so it was like half my friends were just Italian kids, right? So it's like
That's cool.
it's
That's cool.
interesting. Yeah. I came here kissing bitches on the cheek,
Yo.
doing that. Drafties were cool. Movie theaters were cool. They didn't have any of that.
Mm.
And then some dude came up to me.
Who was some dude?
Aaron, you guys don't know him. He was just a recruiter. I never knocked with him. Never saw him in a Vivint shirt. And then he hooked me up with my manager, and I got recruited heavy, dude. I just know that dude pulled up in like it was like a black CLS, was murdered out, cool clothes, like dude was a stud, like in shape, like nice eyes. Girlfriend was bad as hell, so I was like,
He's doing something right.
yeah, I guess I'd come in for the office. And then that was my first summer in 2013. Went to Brooklyn.
How'd you
I was
do?
in New York. Sales I got was 31.
Right.
My back end was 6.5 grand.
Damn, that's still
So I
pretty
know that
good.
6
then.
grand back end though, like dude, at the time,
Yeah.
man, I was
You
was
were good for
offering-
the semester.
What'd you
Dude,
spend it
I
on?
was in my head. I was way more. I don't even know, dude. I was doing dumb shit, offering people meals for no reason. Like y'all boys want to go to Chili's? We just say it's on me. It's on me.
It's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
me,
yeah,
it's
dude.
on
Just
me.
fat cat. Yeah,
Backyard buddy.
yeah, dude. So I'm going to fucking school in class, and like everyone's just taking notes. I'm just looking around judging. Like, Jesus Christ.
Peasants.
You guys peasants.
You
I got
guys
What did you?
sucked on
What
doors.
did you do?
I
this
got
I
time?
have 6 grand in my back.
That's
But
good.
yeah, no. First summer was like super slow, dude. I mean, total. I really don't know how much that is. I just know that 6 grand was cool.
Was that the average number that people would hit too? 30?
Nah, I think my first summer, I think I'd be a little less than normal, for sure. Yeah, I think I'd underproduce my first summer.
Okay.
I can tell you what I did wrong, though. Just having fun. The whole first summer, yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, because bro, you have to remember, it's my first year in the country at all,
Yeah,
right?
and in college.
So you didn't really
And-
speak English.
And in college, sure. And in college.
So you're partying it up.
And it's like my family's still in Europe, right? So when I left for the summer,
You're
everyone's
free.
saying, oh, I can't quit or whatever. I don't want to go home. I didn't have a fucking home. So for me, it was like,
You're
all right,
free.
I'm here. But it felt freedom because it felt in my head, it was like, nah, I'm here for 4 months. Like, I got nowhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm here. I'm free. And then obviously you start having fun. And then, that 6 grand felt cool. And then we kind of just do math.
Right.
You realize how much time you're out there and how much you could make.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
how
just
much
wake up
more
cry.
you
Yeah,
could
yeah,
make.
yeah. So, and I did 31 my first summer. Went back to school, and then my second summer I still came up late, and I did like 122 or 123. That second
Wow.
summer. Yeah. So then I was
How
like,
much did you make that year?
Just under 100. I'd say like 88, 90.
Wow,
something
that's
like
really
that.
good.
Yeah.
Fire.
Back then, 125 I remember was the 100 grand pay scale. At least for that, at least with the bonuses and all that shit.
Nice.
That's really good.
And then
It's fire.
It's fire.
yeah, third
Super
summer did good. Fourth summer did good. Still doing smart home. So the 10 years I've been doing this, the first 5, I'd say, in smart home. So that was in New York, Connecticut, Baltimore, Texas, and then like random preseasons. Like
What
4.5,
made
5
you
years.
go from 31 accounts to 120, 130 your second year?
Dude, not being a schmuck, being a rookie. Yeah, dude. Like in my mentality the first year was like 1 or 2 in the week.
Good.
Stud.
You sell like
Stud.
less than 5
Yeah.
in a week. I'm pissed.
Yeah, and the second year, the whole 1 a day thing, bro, that's bare minimum. Getting you towards 100 grand at 19 and a half years. So it's like, all right, bet I can do this.
Dude, that's fire. So you did smart home for 5 years, you said?
Yeah,
And
almost 5
then-
years.
And then you got into the power of the sun.
Yeah.
Tell us how that transition
So it was
was.
cool, man.
Yeah.
I transitioned because my managers at the time that were with Smart Home, they went over to solar. And that was like when solar first came out to it, like in Florida, to where it's like, that was like a thing. And so, yeah, I just honestly jumped on that wave. A lot of people went over. I already did a bunch of summers. Didn't want to keep track. All I knew in the country, like the only job I've ever had, has just been door to door. I've never done, sorry about that. I've never done any of that, right?
Wow.
So yeah, literally all I know is this, and it's in my blood, kind of like Nick, because my grandmother's a Jehovah's Witness. So hey, I've been seeing her knock on doors since day one.
Yes, sir.
But no, I switched to solar just because it was a new wave. The idea at the time was you're year round in your market, making the same, if not more money, doing a product that's at the time was like brand new. Like when I used to knock for solar back then, it was weird. Like no one knew what it was. People would ask me like NASA. I'm like, yeah, sort of. Not really. On your house though. But yeah, no, solar's been good, man.
And now you're back into the summer grind. So now you're doing summer program. You were doing year round for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, every year round up until right now. Now it's my first summer again.
How is it being back in the summer program?
It's an adjustment, but it's cool. It's nice.
Why
It's
did
different,
you
though.
want? Why did you want to switch from the year round to summer?
Switch nothing bad, just switching life. You have, like literally when I said all I knew was just door to door, specifically just one company, one product, one program, summer program. You're just curious after a while. You know what I mean? It's like if you've had other jobs prior and you do this, you see the value, you realize, all right, this is awesome, this is sick. Why would I want to not do the summer?
Right.
With me, it was kind of opposite. All I knew was a good summer, so it's like, dang, if the only job I ever had is this sick, this is cool, this is this. I wonder what else is out there, right? Like
Right.
you get curious kind of in an excited way, not in a this stinks, let me leave way. So I think it was just testing waters, dude. It was new. It was talked about on TV. People I knew were doing it.
Yeah,
It could be. Yeah, I mean, it's bro. There's so many pros and cons. If you want to get into it, the type of sale itself is different, right? If we have an emotional process and it's a decision on emotion, solar's logic, right? So this has to do with the way you think. What's natural for you,
Right.
and what's natural for me is data. Numbers don't lie. If the
Okay.
numbers make sense, you'll do it, right? And so, yeah, and in a sense, yeah, I could do that year round. Not stressed at all.
Right.
Now, could I go year round trying to, battle people that are telling me no on the front end? Nah, I could do that for 4 months real hard and then I'm going to take my time. But to
Right.
do that year round, nah, it's not sustainable.
Right.
Sure.
Battle real hard for just like 3-4 months.
Yeah. Because the type of sale is different. And you also have to remember, dude, like solar, it's a process. It takes a couple months.
Right.
And so it's like,
Especially in Florida too.
it's interesting that the summer program with solar, because I'm like, what happens to all these deals, once I leave, right? Like, not saying they would need me to come back by. Hopefully they're fine. But because I have to babysit accounts anyway, it's like, it's tricky.
So
Right.
I'm curious because in Florida, I know it's different than a lot of other states. It does take a while to get installed. So Jacksonville. So you're not getting paid. Like, how do you survive, dude?
From working hard the other years up until now.
Stud.
Yeah, dude. If you're
He's not living
if you're
paycheck
in
to
solar,
paycheck.
yeah, I was gonna say if you're in solar and you're not there, like in your account, yeah, dude, it's rough. It's gonna be rough. Like,
You got to still be financially literate.
yeah.
How
and-
much?
Bro,
Chill,
chill, chill,
chill, bro.
I'm chilling, bro. But your solar, you definitely have to have some type of cushion. 'Cause
Right.
if you're waiting a couple months, man, and you're stressing,
Yeah.
dude,
You can see
you're gonna
it
be
too.
desperate to people. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like not eating, waiting for your deals. Like you're gonna freak out if they cancel.
You're going to lose your vision because you need instant things.
Yeah, so I think the transition to solar was only as easy and as fruitful as it is because I had smart home first.
Right.
Like I already had a cushion, nice saved up before I went over. So
Right.
yeah, I think smart home 100% helped for sure.
Yeah. Do you feel like so until you get that pipeline going, because that's what it is. Like once your pipeline's going, then you have installs hitting.
Yeah,
right?
no, you're
So
getting paid
those first couple
for installs that I forgot I sold 2 months ago, 4 months ago.
Yeah, come
5 months ago, 1
November,
month ago.
December, October. You just
Well, I
start
mean, right
seeing
now
these
I'm getting
fat
installs
checks.
from before summer. I'm still
February.
knocking, right?
Right.
Yeah, so it's like I wasn't doing the summer program until right now. So this year's fun for me because the other year until then, I wasn't doing a preseason like you guys were. I was just knocking anyway.
Right.
So my pipeline, I'm just kind of right now. I'm getting checks from work I put in some time ago.
Yeah.
And then I'm excited for what happens in November from all the accounts we're putting in now.
Yeah,
Yeah, the pipeline
It's
with
like
summer
huge.
is like
It's
We
like
call
so-
it-
hey, I had good pipelines just on my own. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
with
yeah.
like closing for for the team I'm left with, it's it should be nice, bro.
That
I'm gonna
Chri-
be
that
I'm gonna be
Christmas money.
smiling. I'm gonna be posting on
You
the
be
gram.
cheesing.
Yeah,
Where are you taking us?
Yeah.
probably back to your house, dude. Dallas, yeah.
Winter in the Bahamas.
Yeah, winter in the Bahamas. Yeah, let's do it.
So that's freaking money, dude. So yeah, John's our solar closer, so he's out here just freaking going in there and closing the deals down. So, So obviously, just for the people watching, so we sell 2 products. We sell smart home and we sell solar. What is the benefit for the setters to sell 2 products? Because you've done just solar,
Yeah.
and now you're part of the program where it's smart home and solar combined.
And then ironically, I did 5 years selling the same smart home with the same brand.
Right.
Right. So like I'm in a really interesting perspective, I think, to like kind of see it from all windows.
So how does it help if guys are looking to, because there might be some guys that are working solar for a solar company, different solar company. What's the benefit of selling solar with a company that has another product?
Retention, bro. So the issue with the pipeline, which is basically the whole solar industry, is in theory it sounds good. You're putting in a lot of accounts.
Right.
But the whole idea of the pipeline is a few actually end up going through.
Right.
Don't be wrong, you're getting paid fat.
I saw
sure,
this-
you're starting into it.
I think I saw the stat that they pulled up compared to Vivint.
But the
other
issues
solar
on that
companies.
front end is how many of the accounts you're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that much experience, it's probably discouraging. Like if I'm setting 5-6 deals and one of them's going through, yes, you're getting paid fat for that deal.
Right.
But the notion is you still have a huge stats that's just kind of going down the drain, right? So I think the benefit with this program being one company that does both, dude, retention's way better, man. There's already an exchange of goods. They
Right.
already bought stuff from us. They probably bought stuff from us like that day, that week.
They're in a buying.
Yeah, and so it's like the idea of if I already have one company that does this for me, and I'm thinking of doing this, why would I not have the same company do both, right?
That's going to
It's-
give me even more benefit too.
Yeah, and so it's just, it's fruit of the same tree, I think, right? So I think retention, to answer your question, is drastically better between solar set just solo on its own versus a solar set that's attached to a vehicle that's already moving.
Yeah.
Right? And the vehicle that we're all with it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I think I also saw
Couple billion.
the statistic that Corey Torgerson pulled up. It was in the Vegas leadership retreat where he was showing the comparison of like a different solar company doing a set and then getting it closed. Apparently the statistic, I don't know if I'm correct on this, but it was like 50 to 60% of it was successful. But if it was with Vivint, because they already got smart home and they're already knowing the company and they get sold on solar, it was like a 70 to 80% chance of them actually getting installed from the time they get closed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I
Less
can
fallout.
personal experience off of just the past 2-3 weeks here. The leads that come from someone that bought the smart home that day and got installed, easiest deals I've seen in my life, man.
Right.
Like I don't want to say their laydowns on its own, but it just
So many
it
barriers
just makes
broken.
sense. Yeah, bro. There's so much stuff that you don't have to get over that because of the work on the front end that you guys do, I don't have to.
Right.
And so, yeah, and plus, I mean, the setter thing, dude, 50%. You know that's crazy, right?
Just by saying a few words.
Yeah, like, dude,
and saying that the solar
that's
comes
insane.
with the system.
Yeah, I don't even know how I felt about it at first. Now I kind of like it as far as
Because it makes your job
quantity
easier.
of deals that could come in.
Right.
But yeah, dude, 50% for a setter for solar for 2 minutes. That's that's.
So there's
straight.
programs where like closers are getting 65 and a setter's getting 35, right?
Yeah.
So you could go work for that company, but you're saying because these deals are probably more sticky or the conversion rate's higher
Yep.
that it makes up for that.
Yeah, it's every facet that we're looking at is better. It's not as rough around the edges. So like the types of leads that we're getting, again, there's an exchange of goods, they have it. The types of setters that we're talking about too. So earlier, the reason that interviews, even though I was joking about it, makes sense, is not everybody's a stud, and I get that. And so the thing is between company A, we're, cool, John, I'm going to gift you random setters, right? Because they offer me that a lot. Sounds cool. Who the hell is this dude, right? It's just some guy, I don't know, he's 50 or whatever he is, that's cool for him. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, right? It's nice, but I don't want just nice. I want great, right? And
Right.
so with this, it's like, dude, our setters, they're not just random dudes. They're already trained. They're trained technically, to put it out there. The product that you guys are doing, hands down, is best in the market. It's financially is probably one of the most expensive, companies out there for that product, but for good reason.
Oh, 100%.
And
The
so
high-end
the
product.
idea that we're
It's a
able,
luxury item.
the idea that we're able to push high-end luxury items on the front end, commit and install the same day, that's an ocean of skill from anyone else that's in sales. So
Right.
if those same people now can spend an extra 2 minutes to to make 50% on a deal and they're trained as is, you'd have to be an idiot to not at least, to do what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think the types of setters and the type of leads are, they're different. For sure different than anything I've ever seen.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love having John on the team. He's killing it.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Stud.
Yeah.
John, who's your favorite roommate?
Probably Jay.
Yeah, okay.
Hasio.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys.
Nah, dude,
love
Trent,
Hasio.
sweetheart, bro. I came home the other day. There's I have a thing for Oreos, bro. There's a fresh pack of double stuffs, like perfectly in the counter. There was one light on, just right above it.
Just
and
like
he was just sitting there in the
perfectly
corner
set for you.
smiling, like red from how long his smile's been. I'm just like, hey, he's like, hey, I saw these, got you them. And I'm like, okay, dude, thanks, bro. I'm like, I bet, bro.
I roomed with him last year. He always keeps the fridge stocked, which I love. Just don't.
Oh,
ever,
with the sodas?
Yeah, don't ever let him cook you chicken though.
Bro,
Don't.
hey,
Bro,
he
what's wrong
stepped
with
it
the
up. Dude.
chicken?
This year, I
Wait,
don't know,
do you
he's been
cook-
killing it.
When you
Last year
cook
he
the-
tried killing me.
When you cook the chicken, do you cook it like medium well or medium rare?
I like it like
Medium
my
rare,
steak. I like it
bro.
like I like my chicken like my steak.
Last year he made us drumsticks, and I take a bite.
It's a little chewy.
It's a little, dude.
Well, it was my first time using the air fryer.
I bit
Is it
into
the same
it.
air fryer that
When I bit
is at
into
our
it,
house?
the drumstick went. when I bit
That's
into it.
funny, bro.
That was actually really good. Though.
That was
I
pretty
like
good.
that.
Hurt
That
my
was pretty
ears.
good.
Oh, sorry.
That was pretty loud though.
But yeah, I figured out the chicken game. The chicken's fire
Maybe
now.
I'll give
I
it.
think it's funny you roomed with Trent and you saw the start of his air fryer. Now I room with Trent. And he's been telling me about this air fryer.
He's always
since
got the seasonings.
Yeah.
down. The seasonings
Oh,
are
bro,
fire.
you're
They're
funny as
fire.
out, dude. That's exactly the thing that he has, man. The cabinet, they're laid out too.
I don't
He
do
whips
the
it up in the-
drumstick. I
in
just
the
don't,
kitchen
can't
too,
do
would he?
drumsticks.
Yeah.
You whip it up.
Oh, I whip it up. Chicken, I love air fryer chicken. Fire. Juicy, crispy. I mean,
Easy,
flavor,
simple
easy to
chicken.
do.
Yeah.
Protein, killing it.
So what?
Stud.
Okay, really quick. So
What
to
was that?
transition.
Shy, bro?
So Gerard and Nick, I want to ask you guys about this. So this is your first year away from me. You're going on year 3, running your own team together.
Yeesh.
A lot of guys usually, I mean, there's some guys out there that are running a team by year 3, but most guys aren't running.
Nasty.
Most guys aren't running a team until year like 4 or 5. So, how's the transition been so far? Running your own team. What's been like the hardest thing of running your own team, and then the wins? Start with Nick, and then G.
Yeah, I would say like right now one of the hardest things is so it's you're managing a team. So you're like your role is like, okay, hey, you have to like train guys, keep them accountable during the day, help them out, but at the same time is like you're expected to sell out at least 150 accounts.
Yeah.
So trying to find that balance between my personal sales and managing what's going on, it like creates a little bit of a clash. So I'd say that's one of the difficulties, but
I think
honest-
that's what's good since you and I are.
yeah,
doing
by
it
having
together.
G, like I'm very grateful for him because like since then, like it's like I don't even really get phone calls anymore, unless it's about Weep. Let's see. No, the hood is trash, bro. This and that, and then I go knock in their hood and I sell a deal. I'm like, it's not trash, it's you. No, I would say that's definitely the hardest thing though, is just trying to balance. Like at this point now, it's like last year, I had some guys out here, but I wasn't managing a team. So like, Saturday nights, I'm going out with the boys. I'm everybody's buddy. I'm doing things that, like a manager
Getting
wouldn't do.
lit.
Yeah, having fun. But this year, it's like Saturday nights, I maybe go to dinner and then I go home. So I'd say one of the hardest things now is just like during the season, like I am very grateful and I am glad I have relationships with these guys, but I have to learn like during the summer, they're not my friends. And they're people that like I have relationships with them, but they are not my friends during the summer because the moment it's just a friendship, there's that loss of like respect in a way. So I have to just make sure I'm focusing on the job, leading from the front.
It's a business.
It's a business, yeah.
Okay.
What do you feel like you're doing well?
Selling.
All right, bet, dude. Stud.
G Money. How's it been being on your guys' own running things?
It's been very much a blessing. Definitely, I think when it comes to having this position finally, and it lets me know that I'm in a bigger position, that it's not just about me, it's about everybody else. So What I mean by that is so during my drive here to Tallahassee, I watched this TED Talk with Simon Sinek. I don't know if you guys know
Yeah.
Simon Sinek.
Love him.
So
good.
he was, I told you about this too. So it was a TED Talk about leaders versus managers, right? And he talks about how when it comes to managers and leaders, managers are people that are responsible for those of what to do. Like they tell you, do this, do this, do this, right? But he talks about leaders are responsible for those responsible for the customer. So essentially what he talks about is when it comes to setting a company culture, he talks about how a lot of times people, when they want to change a company's culture, they want to go for the vast majority, right? So if you took like the bell curve of a company's like employees, the higher ends are going to be in the end of the spectrum, right? So it's going to be like your top 3%, right? But your 97% are going to be in the very middle, which are your average guys, right? So a lot of times when people try to create a culture, they want to dive into the people in the very middle, the average. But those are guys that don't really have that much of a big work ethic. Those are guys that don't really have big goals. Those are guys that are wanting to follow the higher ups, right? The top 3%, the higher producers. So the big mistake that he sees when it comes to setting the company culture is that they go for the 97% when in reality it needs to be the top 3%, right? Because the 97% in the very middle, they want to follow those guys in the 3%. So if you're putting that company culture in the 97% and they see that like, oh, well, I'm an average guy, they're telling me to do this, 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 and this, even though the top of the guys aren't doing it, why would I want to do that? Because I want to follow these guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, you want to transition that into the top 3%. So then they'll see the change. They see the acceptance of the culture, and everybody else will follow. So whenever it comes to me being able to help Nick manage our office this year, I want to make sure that all of these guys, they're well taken care of. Whenever they're not producing, I literally try to check up on them. Like, I get it. Like, you're not having the best days. Like, we had our worst week last week. So I was talking to one of my guys, like, dude, what can I do to make you feel comfortable in order for you to perform? Like, what can I do to help, right? Because it takes away the part of just, like, I get that it's a business in my perspective, but if I want to go fast, I want to go alone. But if we want to go far, we go together. So this is where we try to set that culture of the team where we're together, right? So that's one thing that I really want to try to do for our office, because last week, like, we did not do that good. It was really bad.
Yeah, I think you, me, and Josh had like the majority of the.
Yeah, and so I would try to just check up on everybody, and that's where I would sometimes get frustrated, is because some guys, they don't accept it, even though I'm like, hey, dude, like, I'm here for you. I understand whenever you tell us that it's like a big family. I understand that now, because we're looking out for each other, right? That's how business should work. Everybody wins, and we all succeed together. I can't win on my own. I need you guys to win with me. So that's one thing that we're trying to work on for the office, is just to get everybody good, because everybody's gonna weep. I don't even know what was going on last week with our guys, but
Yeah.
Some complaining.
Some complaining.
Some rookie complaining.
Yeah. But I hope that made sense. So, but yeah, it's still a blessing, though. I'm very much thankful that we're in this position.
To grow.
I feel like the fact that we're in this right now, it's difficult. Obviously, like there's the dip in production, but I feel like by going through this right now, year 3, where most people do this year 5 and 6, come our year 5 and 6, we are going to have it dialed and locked in. And what we're doing on our year 5 or 6 is probably what people will be doing years 8, 9.
Yeah.
So I'm
100%.
You know, I'm appreciative of the difficulties.
Yeah. The harder it is, the better it is, because there's more growth, there's more development, and there's just more success to accomplish when it comes to that. So
I was gonna say it's probably gonna feel better too, though.
Fire.
yeah,
At
no,
the end
it
of when
feels,
it's all said and done, though, it's like the
Yeah.
victory. If it was easy, it's like, you know, you made money, but like, if the beginning of summer is rough, and then you guys turn it around. When you guys turn it around, you're probably gonna go home. That drive, you have to drive home. You put your car on a train.
No, I mean, honestly, after summer, I deserve to put that thing up.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
Fly
instead of
home.
driving, thinking about how far you guys.
It's 700 miles.
Fly home first class.
13-hour
miles.
drive.
You're rich, man. Put your car on the train, bro.
Freaking
You'll be all right.
Clear 6
Fat cat.
figures. Put that thing on the cargo truck, and I'm flying home.
Yeah.
First
Either way,
class.
man, that nice train ride home, bro. That's gonna feel good, man.
I'm not
for real.
taking the train.
All right, dude. Whatever, Nick.
Take an
Stay.
airplane.
How about you stay in Tally all year round?
No.
Who invited you?
Yo,
Trent, bro.
I did. We did.
Trent.
my roomie,
Trent,
dude. No, I love that, and you guys are doing awesome. It's cool for me to see you guys come up from the first blitz of you getting your first sale
Yeah.
to now 3 years later. You're like running a team at your own program. Nick breaking his knee, playing me in basketball,
That's not how it happened.
hobbling around, falling off the Segway, and now you guys are running your own programming.
Yeah.
Super cool to see. I think the growth and like the changes that this job puts guys through is what makes it incredible. It's what makes the opportunity. The money's great, but who you become through the process of this job is the real value. in
Oh,
it.
100%. I think it makes you like such into a better person as well because it puts you into that true leadership position. Like with Nick, I don't think when you tell that these guys aren't your friends, to me I feel like you're just saying that instead of going out to partying, instead of going out and blowing away, instead what you want to do is you want to just put yourself in a better position, right? And just to live a better quality life. And I think that's what leadership's really about. And then everybody else will want to follow along that because you're producing, you're leading from the front. And if they see that you're not going out, you're not doing this, and this, you're actually doing things that could be improving yourself in any other ways, they're going to want to follow that too. So yeah, that's the way I view it. Because I don't even want to go out anymore too. It's not because of like other reasons, but it's just like I just want to chill. Like I want to see what else can I do. Like we did not have a good week. What are we gonna do better? What can we game plan for? Like I literally talked about that with Levi and Austin whenever we were at dinner. Like what else can we do?
You're talking about like how on Sunday you're still thinking of it, right?
Yeah, we're just still thinking about it. Some guys want to just go out, go drinking. No, for me, what can I do better?
Yeah, no, that's a big. I was telling Trent about that. I think that's a big difference. Where my first few years was like, oh, I'm excited for the fun part of the week.
No.
When it's over.
Yeah.
And then now, years into it, it's like when you hear in Saturday correlation in the meeting, what are you guys doing tonight? Blah blah blah. And it's like, dude,
no.
we haven't
Yeah.
even been on
Working,
turf
bro.
yet,
Crazy.
bro.
Yeah,
Like,
we're working.
It's like I'm not even thinking of tonight. I'm thinking of like 2 hours from now, bro. Like that's all I'm thinking about.
I'm looking at like where I'm hitting up, where my appointments are, where
Yeah.
I'm going after this,
Or
and
even
this.
on like Sunday, it's like,
What-
dude, food prep, or
Yep,
gym, or
groceries,
whatever you're doing
yep.
for the next
Yep,
week.
mental training.
And you're trying to day
everything.
drink and all that. I'm like,
How do you
dude.
guys go out on Saturday night after working 12-hour
Yeah.
days?
What I was just
When
gonna
you don't
say
work
too
hard,
is
bro,
how
like-
do guys like? I mean, I'm
Exactly.
guilty of this from previous years.
Same.
But like for me now, it's like I've as John mentioned earlier, having that mindset of like not allowing yourself to bagel. Like all last week, like if I get my ass or I get my butt kicked, but I'll still go produce. I'll come home, and the first thing I do when I come home is I'm checking Insider. So it's like crazy to me, especially on Saturday nights. I come home, like I'm checking Insider nonstop, wake up, I'm like obsessed with Insider. But on Saturday nights, after working a 12-hour day, I'm like ready to chill. And it blows my mind when guys are like, hey, are we going out and this and that? And it's like, dude, you bageled on the week. Why is
Did
that
you,
your thought?
Like, aren't you not tired?
Like,
Yeah.
like you didn't work. If you want to go out, you probably didn't work.
You know what's crazy is like commission, right? So it's like, dude, you spent all week technically not making money.
Yeah,
right?
and
So
you
that's
wanna
that's an
spend-
L, and then now you're gonna go. Let me go waste more money.
Yeah.
Right?
To go
It's like, dog,
drinking, and then
what
not
are you
only
doing,
that,
bro. Like,
Yeah,
and I was
that-
doing the same stuff. You're like, I get
Yep.
it, but
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I spent so much money
then-
in Jacksonville last
Yeah,
year.
and
going
then
out.
come Sunday,
Hey,
you
where'd
gotta
you
like
go?
meal prep. You got to grocery, so that's even more money out of your account that you didn't even sell. So
Here's
it
the
puts
thing,
you in
though.
the
You know
negative
what's
even
funny
more.
is let's say they don't do it. They go out Sunday, super hungover. Sunday, guess what they're not doing?
Training.
Not training, not getting groceries.
Right.
So you can't meal prep. So all week, what are you doing? You're buying
Spending
fast food.
money,
you're
yep.
spending more money.
So
And then
it's a cycle.
It's a
It starts
domino effect,
yeah.
bro. Yeah.
One-
And it's like the type of food you buy that's cheap because you don't have money is fast food, right? So it's dude, it's just one thing leads to another. It's crazy.
And it's crazy because like that was me last year. Just eating bad. If I don't know, like you don't get the rest and everything. Like this year, like Gerard makes me. I pay him $40. He makes me 6 meals.
Meal prep,
So I'm
baby.
eating the same exact thing for dinner, eating the exact same thing for lunch, eating the exact same thing for breakfast. I have one bad meal a week, and that's usually on Saturday nights.
Yeah, dinner.
Or like, I mean, we had sushi today. Like I ate bad, but it's crazy how just getting your mental right in the mornings, like with training, eating right, like no fast food. It's crazy how good
Bro.
I feel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Feeling hydrated is why I had
Drinking-
fruit for
yeah.
the first time, and it's like, dude, wow,
yeah. I
Jesus.
bought oranges and bananas. I'm like, what? Like, who
Yeah,
am
mature,
I?
yeah.
I wake up.
I put my
Organic
pinkies
fruit.
out now, dude.
I start my day by drinking water. Like it's crazy just by like how like because I literally last year I was always drained of energy. I'd get tired. Like I can like we'd have to take the bloops to get through the day. Last year, like this year, if I eat my breakfast of eggs, if I eat a sandwich, protein bar, if I'm staying hydrated, it's crazy how much energy I can have for the entire day and feel good.
Do you feel proud too after?
Yes,
Yeah.
and like just think how I just my body overall, like I just like my mind is sharp. I feel like I've slimmed down a little bit since
You look
Hell
good,
yeah.
bro.
I've
Yeah,
been
since
losing
I met
weight
you.
to the gym and everything, but it's just like it's crazy like how you treat your body. It really reflects into sales because you're like I'm feeling more confident. I'm feeling sharper. I'm awake. I'm aware. Like
You're here.
it reflects on the doors outside of the training and everything.
Yeah.
Just what you consume and how you treat your body and your mindset is like super important.
Plus, it's a good aspect of your life that you can control. Because a lot of people in their lives, they feel like life is always against them, but they realize,
Yeah,
but
the
they don't even.
doors. It's the turf that got
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
So the more variables in your life that you can realize that you can control, the more possible it seems like that you can control your whole life.
Well,
So-
I also think I was telling you guys know PJ. Yeah, you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course,
PJ.
PJ.
And them. Yeah, Diego and them.
Wait, who?
Yeah, who's that?
Who's that?
Who that boy?
Turner Management.
No, I was telling him kind of what you were saying. Like if you break up your day and you're doing the gym right, and you're eating right, and you're reading, or you're getting close with God, or whatever your higher being,
Right.
or all that stuff. Even if the work part sucks, but at least that's not the only thing you did that. Because then
Yeah.
100% of your day is an L. If work isn't the best that day, it is what it is.
That's one
But dude,
L.
I did that's one. But I got a W with the gym.
Yep.
I got a dub with this. I got a dub with
Made
that.
your bed.
Dude, I'm
Bread.
5'1" right now. On a
Yeah.
bagel, I'm 5'1", right? And so
Yeah.
it's like your bagel days, which should never happen, are better than your bagel days when you don't do all the extra stuff, right?
And what's crazy is if you start with all of those wins, you minimalize your bagel days. And it's Doug Cartwright, I know, you know who that is. One of his things that he says, it's like
Alchemy.
Alchemy, yeah. It's never a sales problem, it's a personal problem. And it reflects with how you start your day. If you're not feeding, like I said, like if you're not allowing yourself to have wins, you're not going to, it's going to continue to be that. So
and it
it's-
reassures value.
and
So you
your-
feel
your
proud,
mindset,
man.
like if you're doing all these things that you know you should, you're having it creates a positive mindset, which again on the doors it reflects. If you're not taking necessary actions to feed your brain positivity, it then becomes bad on the doors. So is it the sales problem or is it a you problem? Like
When you wake up in the morning and you get those micro wins,
Yep.
that confidence compounds. So by the time you get out there to the turf and it's time to perform, you are on your highest level. You're at your peak state. You're in your flow state, right? So that guy is going to sell more than the guy that wakes up at 11 and rolls out of bed to the meeting, didn't shower, his shirt's wrinkly, hasn't consumed any type of positive content on the day. That guy, how does that guy go out there and expect to perform like the guy that already got up, ate healthy, hit the gym, listened to a sales book? The guy that rolled out of bed is going to go bagel in an area that's right next to the guy that hit all of his micro wins. And then the guy that bageled is going to go to his manager and say, oh, this hood sucks. I can't sell. Nobody wants it in here. And he's going to blame everything but himself. While the guy next to him in the same type of area drops a 3-bomb and a solar, right?
Hey,
Oh.
nice little solar lead.
yep.
It's not that, like, just to emphasize what Nick said, it's not that sales. It's not a sales problem. It's a
Personal
personal
problem.
problem.
I agree completely.
Mic drop. Cool. Well, hey, I appreciate you guys hopping on. Anything else you guys want to talk about or recap? Or
I'm just happy to see the boys again.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Was
We'll have to do
this-
this again. I appreciate you guys coming in.
Dude, you get shy, bro?
I appreciate it. Let's have a good week, baby. Hey, appreciate you guys. Let's pass it off to.
The Maven experience with a 2-clap.
You're funny, bro.
Thank you, man.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice.
I like that. That was actually pretty fun. I like that.
If you like the podcast, We would love the support. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.